Waiting to start. Hi, welcome. Wait 1 second. This is looking different. Seems like Instagram has done something, guys. Anyways, welcome, guys. This is NEWMOM Diaries, and if this is your first time tuning in to this live, it's a live series which I started 8 episodes ago. And yeah, on this show we just share real life experiences with new moms, OG moms, people that have been moms for years, medical practitioners in this particular field, so midwives, gynecologists, psychologists. So yeah, it's really been interesting, and if you are new to this, you can catch up on the previous 8 episodes on my IGTV. So everything that we all the topics we have had previously and the guests we've had, you can catch up there. But today's topic is a very interesting one. I'm having a mom, a very special mom with me today. If you're not, I would say she's a she is a new mom, but she has 2 kids, and I'm guessing you can already see the topic of today is unplanned pregnancy just after having a baby. So you can already imagine how difficult that is, especially for someone that's just had the first child is or the first baby was her first child. So that was a bit difficult, but that's why we're having this today, just to discuss with her on how she was able to pull through that period, taking care of baby and being pregnant at the same time. So pretty much that's it. So, but if you can't stay to the end of the live, I'm going to be uploading today's topic on my IGTV. So if this is your first time tuning into this live, you can catch up on the previous NEWMOM Diaries episodes on my IGTV. Okay, so I'm just going to request for our guests to join in today so we can just start, because we have a lot to cover, and once you start, you know, time really goes away really quick. So yeah, I'm just gonna send a request to her so we can just start regardless, and yeah, see how it goes. I hope everyone is doing well and okay so far. I don't know if you guys are excited for the weekend like I am, because I'm tired. But yeah, we move. So I've sent a request to our guest. Oh, she's here. Hi, Oti.
Network.
I can hear you.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Amaka.
I'm good. How are you doing?
Fine. How are you?
Good. It's nice to see you, and thank you for being here to share your experience with us. I'm what's the word now? English has disappeared from my life. But yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. I appreciate you being here and giving us the opportunity to share your experience with our audience, and I'm sure a lot of people would definitely learn from this. And like I said, I always upload this on my IGTV, so I'm sure definitely someone would be impacted by what we're going to discuss today. So with no further ado, I just want you to briefly introduce yourself to the audience so they can know who we're speaking to today.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Motapwa. A lot of you know me as Moti, but Motapwa is the name. I'm a mom, a new mom of 2. I'm a fashion designer. What else do I do? I mother mostly, and then I'm a wife.
That's beautiful. It's a very beautiful package. A mom, fashion designer. I'm sure most of your audience already know that, but if you guys don't know, you should definitely check her business out. I would be leaving that information at the end of the program. So while we're waiting for our audience to just build up, we're just going to go ahead regardless. And like I said, this would be uploaded on my IGTV, so you can catch up there if you can't stay to the end or if you're just joining in. So before we get into the topic of today, Moti, I just want to go through your first pregnancy. So how was your first pregnancy? This is a question I always ask most of my guests. How was your first pregnancy and how was delivery for you? Let's just briefly run through that.
Okay. My first pregnancy was a lot easier than I expected it would be. It was It was a fun journey. I didn't have so much stress. I didn't have all them nausea and all of that. I took it a day at a time. I was eating healthy. I took my meds, and delivery was shorter than I expected. I didn't have any epidural. My labor started at 4 a.m. I had my baby at 9. No, 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 no. Delivery started at labor started at 4. I had my baby at 12 noon.
Hmm.
Yeah, for my first baby, and everything went well. To be honest, for the first baby, it was a smooth journey. I can't really say it was
That was
that.
anything, yeah,
It was a smooth journey. It was better than I expected. I mean, I had heard a lot of things
of course.
about the and delivery, scary stuff, but then mine was it was
It was
nice.
good. Hey, we love to hear that because for the moms we've had different stories. People say, "Oh, the first one was this, the second one was that." You know, it varies for different people. So I'm happy that was good for you. So
Mhm.
with no further ado, we're just gonna get straight into the topic of today because I know one question will lead to another thing, and it could
Yeah.
get lengthy. And I want us to cover as much as we can today. So the first question I'm gonna ask you is how many months after you were having your first child did you find out that you were pregnant, and how did you find out?
Okay. Torin was 5 months. That's
Yeah.
my first. He was 5 months when I found out I was pregnant. He actually turned 6 months the day I found out I was pregnant. It was January 2nd this year. I was feeling a bit woozy. So I just did a test, and it was 2 lines on the strip. I did like 4 tests that day just to be sure. And when I found out, to be honest,
Yeah.
I I've never gotten depressed in my life, but I think I was this close to understanding what depression is because I wasn't ready. I wasn't expecting it. I cried through the night. Like it was horrible. I just wanted to flush the baby out or just get rid of it. I wasn't ready for it. I I don't know if I'm still ready, but at the time it was not a nice feeling, to be honest. I was scared. I was hurt. I felt careless, and yeah, it was a lot of emotions at the time, but it wasn't good emotions at all.
I like I said, we had a conversation obviously before today, and I told you already that I definitely cannot say I can imagine. And for someone who just had a child, so my baby is what 7 months plus now. So in being in imagine putting myself in finding out that I'm pregnant right now, I really don't know how I'm going to handle it. So I really, really do commend you for making it this far. And I know it's still a work in progress. I can't say that you are 100%. I don't think so. Even if it was just one child, it's still a
Mhm.
work in progress. Talk less of what you went through. So I must really commend you for that. So in terms of like you kind of already answered the next question I was going to ask. So I was going to say, how did you feel when you found out? You kind of already gave me a few because I know that usually you have to deal with the shock first of all. That's one. You're
Or
dealing with not being ready, and then there's the fear of going through everything that you literally have not even recovered from. That's being
yeah,
pregnant, um, delivery all over again. Even if you said it was good, it's not something you want to go through 5 months after or in say another 9 months after that. And then there's a social anxiety of like, oh, what will people say? Because trust me, as much as people, somebody watching this might be like, oh, whose business is it? But it still would creep in. So how did you deal with all of that? And then again, you're still having to take care of a 5 month old. So let's not even forget that because that's like top on the list. Dealing with also how were you able to manage all this?
to be honest, I was really scared of what would people say, how would they look at me.
Yeah.
I was at home most of that pregnancy. A lot of people didn't know I was pregnant until I had the baby, and everybody was like, "You have another baby." It was hmm, it was not fun at all. Having to deal with touring and then being pregnant, and he wasn't even walking. he can't be walking at 6 months. So he wasn't even walking. I had to carry him most of the time. I had to work and I had to still be pregnant. So it was a lot of, what's the word to use? Help me, help me. um,
There's lots of
it,
emotions. It's too many things at the same time.
to be honest, dealing with people was like the major thing because people will look at you and talk.
Of
Even my
course.
was like, what? I wasn't ready. She wasn't ready. So if my mom could be like, again, I can imagine what everybody.
What a younger generation will even say, exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure like she didn't mean it that way, but I mean, she was as shocked as I was. So really, and then the people my age, my peers, like, are you? What's wrong with you? So it wasn't easy, but like I said, I took it a day at a time. I tried not to get depressed. Like every day of the journey was a close to depression situation because every day another
Yeah.
crazy and all of that. And during this pregnancy, I can't say it was a walk in the park like that of Turin, because first of all, my pelvic was giving way already. So I was in pain most of the pregnancy. When I sleep, I can't stand up, I can't sit down. Like I had to take my time. I literally had to crawl to the bathroom every time I needed to pee. And as a pregnant mom, you know that you pee so many times at night. Then imagine having to get up and crawl to the bathroom every time you needed to pee because you couldn't stand or walk. So it was plenty things. I'm having to deal with this. I'm having to deal with, oh, I might walk out and see somebody that will ask me something that will make me feel some type of way. So a lot of things. But then Moti came out.
Of course, you're here. That's the whole point of us talking about this today.
Yeah,
It's as much as, like I said, the whole point of this show is to share real life experiences, encourage people out there that in this particular situation is not something. I don't think some people actually do plan for this. Some people actually want it. You have cases like that, but in the case where you don't want it, it's something that if you're currently going through this situation, there's light at the end of the tunnel. That's the whole point of this. But at the same time, we'll also get to that point of, if you are just having a baby, things you should do to prevent this kind of situation if you don't want to be in it. But we'll talk about that later. Someone just made a comment saying we need a background story. Did we just hear 5 months old baby and pregnant? Okay, yes. Audrey, so today's topic is unplanned pregnancy, just after having a baby. So yeah, so basically that's what it is. She was 5 months pregnant, or baby just turned 6 months when she found out that she was pregnant again. And yeah, it wasn't a planned one. So that's what we're going through today. So like I said, if you are just joining in and you have missed the first questions I've gone through in Moti, you can catch up on all this on my IGTV. But we are working with time, so we're just gonna keep going. So yeah, like I said, most of the questions I have, you're already answering them. The next question was going to be your mental state. So dealing with the news of the pregnancy and still having to take care of baby. So all these things that we just mentioned now, the shock, all these things, you having all these pains, your pelvic obviously has not even healed from, because naturally they say when you have a baby, it takes a full year for you to even at least 90% gets to recovery. And that's not even the same for everybody, depending on the kind of pregnancy that you had. So with all these things that were going on, I know it couldn't have been easy taking care of your son. So did you have any support from, I know obviously your husband was there, but did you have any support from friends or family? Because I know you didn't really tell anyone. So how was that for you? Because I'm sure you definitely needed some kind of help.
yeah. My husband suffered, to be honest, because everything, yo, everything that pissed me off, I just took it out on him. I felt like it was his fault. I mean, we're in this together, but
Yeah.
so I just took out everything. I called people, I called my friends that I could talk to. I got encouragement from them. I had help. My mom got me help. So there were people that helped me take care of the baby, but then I can't get enough help. You
Yeah.
can't get enough help because there are some things that you have to do yourself. I was breastfeeding him till he was 9 months with the pregnancy. So
Yeah.
as my stomach was getting big, and then when I found out, my first trimester was already gone. So I didn't even know I was pregnant for the whole of the first trimester. So my
Oh,
stomach has started coming out, and then, but then I got help. I got help as much as I could. I mean, my husband was my major support, my support.
definitely.
I had friends come and help. I had my mom got me help, and there's a little girl that stays with me. She's also been like helpful. So help can be overrated in this kind of to be.
Definitely. Definitely.
But yeah, and then I moved into the family house. So my mom is around every now and then. My dad is here, my aunties. So I got help from quite family was there for me.
Mhm. That's really really good that you had that support, because even without being in this situation that you were in, even having just your child on his own, help is really really important, because having a child on its own is a lot of stress on your mental health. So having to deal with this again, I'm really really happy that you had people to support you in what you went through, because trust, I like I said, I keep saying I cannot imagine what you went through. So yeah, that's a very good one. That family was there to actually hold your hand through the process. And kudos to your husband, because it's I totally understand when you say he's the one that suffered the most, because literally every feeling you're going through, anger, everything, he's the first point of contact. So I can totally relate with that. So out down in the next question is about your husband actually. So how did he deal with this news of the baby? How was he happy? Was he confused? Because I know that as fathers, you know, even in having your first child alone, when you find out you're pregnant, you're very, very happy. But then
Mhm.
while the woman is going through the pregnancy, you are just sitting down there. We were thinking about, oh, pregnant, that 9 months, how we're going to have kids and, buy what we're going to buy. But they are thinking about things that have to be, but mostly about the financial part of things. As sad as it is, it's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, because, okay, enjoy the moment of the fact that you're actually about to have a child. But at the same time, they're always thinking about, they're thinking 10 years. We were thinking about diaper. They are thinking about college funds and things like that. Do you understand? So having to be that he hasn't even finished recovering from the fact that, okay, I'm a dad now. 6 months into it, he's finding out that another one is coming. I cannot even imagine what he went through. So how did he take this?
I think he took it better than me because
Well, I can understand
um,
that part.
I mean he knew how much it broke me, so I think he acted strong or tried to be stronger than me just so that I don't feel broken.
Yeah.
The day I found out, like I said, I was crying most of that night. We slept off initially. I woke up to feed, and I just started crying. My baby was looking at me, and I was up for like 2 hours, and then he woke up and saw me crying, and he couldn't sleep. He started to contact everybody, his sisters, the doctors, everybody, because I told him I was taking it out. I said, I'm not doing this. It's leave, this baby is not staying. I'm not trying to, I'm going to, I told him I'm going to be depressed. You don't want a depressed wife. I'm taking, so he called our doctor, spoke with her. She said, no, she's not going to support that. There are people that have had babies like that. We're not the first case and we'll be okay. I wasn't trying to listen. And before I knew it, he went and told my mother because me, I said I'm removing it. And he just went to her and he's like, we're having a baby. And she's like, what? So that's how the baby stayed, because if he didn't tell her, it would not be here. I would have already, I wasn't ready. I wasn't. So he was strong. He took it better than I did. And he's still doing better than I'm doing.
That's good. Like I said, that's the whole point of having a support system, because it's like I said before I asked you that question, they go through that, but you are the one who's going through the physical, mental, emotional. Like the stress is more on you. So it's a good thing that he was there to support you through this time, and he's still there to support you even after. So the next question I was going to ask is, you, like I said, most questions lead into a next thing, because you literally just mentioned it, and I know that I've heard stories, and I know I've actually, because before this, we had a conversation. I told you that this is something I actually wanted to do, and I've listened to some people's stories, and I really commend you for accepting to actually come on here, because some people are not even still ready to talk about this, because we downplay how serious this particular topic is, but it's a lot, and some people even 5 years into after having the baby, they're still dealing with a lot of things. Some people even go as far as resenting the child.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might be like, why? It's not a good thing. But the people, you really, really underestimate the power of mental health and how it works with being pregnant and being a mom. So the next question I was going to ask you is, did you ever consider having taking not having a baby? And you kind of already answered that. So how was that for you, and for how long were you? Because I know that even if after telling your mom, I know, yes, so everyone will now be on you and they will watching you, like on you, to see if you probably run away and do something. So how was that like? Even after your mom finding out, I know you still probably considered it. So how did you deal with that with family?
It wasn't easy. I considered it every day, to be honest, till I started feeling my baby kick. And I'm like, this thing is real though. So I just accepted it and then decided to. It wasn't easy. I'm not going to lie, because I was angry. I was sad most of the time. This baby was now stressful because I would throw up. I would have back pain. I would have all the pains that every pregnant woman can ever have. And then I still didn't want to. So what are you like? It shouldn't be this hard if I don't want to.
Yeah.
Just But then after some time, I just accepted it. I'm like, okay, it's actually a real human being that's inside of me and is kicking. So let me just. And then, I mean, the people that I had spoken to, my friends, they would call in and check on me and then just encourage me. My sisters-in-law, like everybody just tried to be there for me as much,
Yeah.
just so that I would take my mind off it. So yeah, it was there for a while, but after, I mean, maybe 5 months in, I just accepted it and
Moved on. Well, you're really strong. Like, I really commend you. I have to keep on saying that because we're talking about it now because it feels like it's the baby's here, and but it's still a lot, and I can't imagine. Like I said, you're probably still going through stuff that we or people out there, even your family, might not even be able to understand. So it's a work in progress. So I just wanted to say, because you mentioned that, because okay, fine, even if you did accept, did you at any point, like, maybe like you told me of how, that's why I mostly asked you how your first pregnancy was. You told me that was fine, but now you just mentioned that you had everything, back pain, and obviously even if the pregnancy wasn't meant to be like that, for the fact that you were still healing from the first one, the chances of you even having all those pains, I feel, will even be higher because your body's still healing. So how was that for you? And then again, were you by any chance not taking your meds? Because I know you did mention that. Were you not taking your meds, or were you not eating? Were you just trying to probably starve yourself? Or what were you doing? Because I know that if you did not get your way for taking out the child, you probably were trying to do some other things to harm yourself. What?
I think out of 40 weeks, I took my meds for like 10 weeks or 15 weeks. And that's at intervals, not that I was taking it
Not
back.
consistently. Yeah.
Um, I wasn't eating well. I was drinking gari. I like to drink gari. They told me not to drink, but I drank gari. I couldn't be bothered. They'll say eat veggies, eat. I wasn't eating healthy. I would eat when I felt like it. Because most of the time, if I even wanted to eat, whatever I eat, I'll just throw up. So it was, why am I not eating? Why am I being stressed to do all these things that the baby doesn't even appreciate? I'm suffering here and you're just acting your own way. So I didn't take my meds, to be honest. And then at about 26, was it 25 or 26 weeks, I started feeling pain in
Mm.
my belly around my navel. It was so painful. I went to the hospital. I was on drip for like a whole day, and then they said there's, what's it called, the hernia.
Oh yeah, you did mention. Yeah, 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 yeah.
There was, yeah, and then my intestine could get trapped and it would stop oxygen and whatnot. So they have to do a surgery to close it up before anything happened.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so that was in my hospital. Then I decided to go somewhere else, and then they checked it. They also said the same thing, but they said since I was at 25 weeks or so, I was getting into my third trimester, and the baby was.
Yeah,
So if I didn't feel any pain for like the next 2 or 3 weeks, then it'll be fine because the baby had grown past the level of my um, navel. So
yeah.
that happened, and I didn't have the surgery. I was already angry about that because. Are you the first? This cannot be the first child to come to the world. So why am I going through so
Going
much?
through all this.
Yeah. But then that phase passed as well, and drinking water. I wasn't really trying to be healthy, to be honest. Air living.
Well, it's that hernia thing you just mentioned. Now I can't even imagine, because you're going through this and then having that, because I have had hernia before and I know the kind of pain that comes with that, and I wasn't even pregnant when I had it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I because then I was not pregnant, so I had to do a surgery because I know the pain. So I really cannot, because when I was pregnant, they had to insert a mesh in my stomach because of the hernia. So
Yeah.
when I was pregnant, that was something I was actually scared about, because I read of some people saying that, oh, it affected your pregnancies and things like that. So imagine, so I was thinking of that. And imagine you actually still having the pain, and then, wow, 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 Moti. There's a lot. Like, I'm smiling, but it's that's not exactly the emotion I want to be giving out right now. We're here to celebrate you and to also encourage people out there, but I cannot begin to, you are strong. You are really, really strong. And I just pray that God continues to strengthen you and your family and give you the strength to completely heal, because I can't say, I your mental health, it takes a while. It definitely will take a while dealing with a baby, and now you're still, it's like you're going through the whole newborn phase. I just again, you know, I, let's go ahead. And well, before we continue, some people are just saying, I show people that Helen, well done, Moti.
Thank
Someone said, and Stephanie said, you are so strong. Can't even imagine how difficult the decisions could have been. And coming from, she's a new mom, so her baby's like 3 months. So most of these people, and some people here are actually moms. So they can relate, but at the same time cannot relate, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I was gonna ask. So how were you able to now? Okay, fine. We're past the stage of you gave birth, baby came. It doesn't mean it's over. And so how were you able to balance, before we even get to the delivery stage? How are you able to balance giving birth? Okay, let's say you've given birth. How are you able to balance that? Because I know how that first few weeks can be. Then baby, you still have a son, right? And your marriage is still there. Your business is still there. So how are you able to balance all these things? Because these are questions I always ask people, how are you able to balance your baby? And this is just one child. So how are you able to do this with everything going on?
Well, moms out there will be able to relate that being a mom, it's a 24-hour job at the same time, but it's something that you get used to, or you
Mhm.
just create a pattern around. So you already have a way of doing things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And on the side. So you now have to make out time for work and, I mean, family generally.
Yeah.
I work out of the house here. My workshop is in the garage,
Oh,
so
okay.
I can easily go and come, as like she can be inside and I'm there, and then I can go and come. So it's easier for me because I work from home.
Yeah, that's good.
And then I also have help. I have my friends around, I have my cousins around, and my brothers. So everybody is all hands on
Hands
deck.
on, definitely.
So this one is with the baby, this one is doing this. A lot of help. I have a lot of help. So that's how I'm able to balance it, because without help, I can't do it. I will just flat and not move. Anything that wants to happen should happen.
Mm-hmm.
But help that I need, I have a lot of help, and I'm grateful for that. Help is very important. It cannot be overemphasized when you have
Yep. Yep.
one baby, not to talk of two. So yeah, help basically. That's how I'm doing it. I have help.
That's really, really good. And I'm really happy that you have the support that you need to have seen you through and still seen you through this time, because a lot of people actually understand, like you said, underestimate the power of help. Some people have it, and then some people actually shy away from using it. I don't know why. I don't know if they feel like, oh, some people, I think it's a fear of, oh, leaving my child or with somebody that I don't know. And there's also the part of, oh, I'm the one that gave birth to the child, so I should be doing everything myself. And I think this is something that actually creeps into a lot of moms. Were you saying something? Well, I think we lost
It was
Mercy.
like that for
Oh, okay, she's
me.
back. Okay.
Oh, like I was saying, it was like that for me.
Yeah.
when I had my first baby, I didn't feel like I needed help.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I'll take care of this baby like I would. I cannot
Yeah.
leave with grandma and then just express, and that's not happening. I want to see my baby. I want to be looking at you. I want to have you by my side all the time. But then now with two, sister, go with the two of them. I'm not doing. Just give space. I need to have me time because it's not easy. Right now, I can leave the two of them and go anywhere that I want to go. With your first baby, it's there's this attachment you
Attachment.
there. You just, but now, guy, I'm street. They should go.
I'm straight. I totally understand that part. I think for me, I think in the first few months, I was just like, please, keep my baby with me. But right now, when
Hmm?
my mommy came and take the child, I'm not even waiting for the second one. Come and start taking it. So I could totally understand that part, and I'm happy that you actually have the support that you need. But there's a question. Oh, before I continue, some people have been joining that haven't been here from the beginning, and the topic of today is unplanned pregnancy shortly after having a baby. Okay, and if you're just joining, I'm going to upload this live on my IGTV, so you can catch up there if you have to go or if you're just joining to watch the beginning. And then if you do have any questions for Moti, this will be a good time to start using the question option down there to send in your questions so that while we're going through, she can answer if you have any questions for her. And oh, did your husband just comment? He's like, hi guys, that's my wife. Okay, I'm running away now. You should be proud. You should actually be proud of your wife, please, because she is a hero. And it's not just, you don't have to wear a cape or be doing something that the whole world has to know before. You are actually, I commend you, and I really, really um commend you. I keep repeating that. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. And I'm sure everybody watching this right now can totally relate to what I'm saying. So, but if you do have any questions for Moti, please use that opportunity to start sending them in so we can answer them in good time. Okay? We don't want to exceed the hour. But then I was going to ask you, because I know that you said you when you were pregnant, you were resenting your husband. You were just like, oh, I'm not interested. I'm angry. It's your fault. Because even if this did not happen, even with your first baby, you actually, there are times when you just look at your husband, when your back is spinning, you probably just say, I'm like, this one. Do you understand? So I can imagine that even being worse with the second one that you did not even plan for. So after baby came, would you say, would you say it affected your relationship with your husband in any way?
Not
In
come.
terms of, not in a, like, you guys are angry at each other or anything, but I'm saying, like, okay, now when it comes to how do I rephrase? Let me rephrase that question. In terms of, okay, now, are you scared of baby making right now?
No,
If I should rephrase that right now, you're not.
no.
Because trust me, I've actually had cases of people that when they go through this, trust me, even if they do go on any contraceptives or decide to do any family planning, they have it unconsciously, a phobia is built, and they're just scared that, oh, if this has happened before, it could probably happen again. So, that's why I actually did ask that question. So that's not happening for you.
Plenty sex right now. I'm not making any baby. I'm not making any baby, but I'm enjoying my husband now. Now that babies are out of the way for us, let's enjoy the rest of our lives.
I would say that's even to look on the bright side, as people would say. I just saw the comment again, but yeah. So
Yeah.
in terms of babies, for you guys intention wanted to have 2 kids before, or do you think you're gonna have more kids?
Nope. We wanted just two. We have them now, and that's over. Even though our parents are like, when is
Looking
the
for more. They're always looking for more. So please just ignore them.
okay, I'm so ignoring them. Like, I have six, they can have more for them. Me.
Exactly. Literally, that's the same thing I tell my mom. My aunties when they call, they're like, "Oh, so when is the next?" I'm like, "Can you just wait? Like, or why don't you deal with the other people that there are a lot of people that yet to have kids? So please deal with them first." So Stephanie says the way you say no without hesitation. She's sure of herself. She already knows after what she's been through. Come on, at this point, you should know what you want. So, and so, like I said earlier, in terms of this happening, as much as I know, I've heard of people who actually plan. Some people actually said, I actually know someone, like personally, she's my friend, that at 6 months she actually plans to be pregnant. Yeah, it happens. Oh, trust me.
Oh no, is she Igbo?
No, she's Yoruba actually. And this is just, and I'm using this as an example because I personally know this person. But apart from her that I know, there are a few people that I know that actually plan it. It's called, some people say, they call them Irish twins, when your babies are just months apart from each other. Some people actually plan for things like that.
Actually, I was talking to one of my staff. She's Igbo,
Yeah.
and I was like, I told her I wasn't expecting this baby and all of that, and she says it's strange for them to see children that are like 3 years apart, because I told her between my brother and I is 3 years and then 5 years, and she says it's very strange for her to see. It's usually 1 year apart, or 9, 8, 11 months, 10 months.
Yeah, you would actually be surprised, my love. Yes, that's why when I started, before I brought you in and when I started talking to you, the first thing I said, as much as we're talking about it, there's some people that will actually watch this and be like, yeah, trust me. Some people actually do plan for it to have their kids. Say, oh, why don't you just do it, have your children and get it out of the way? It's a normal thing for some people. That's why I said to each, in the long run, to each his own. But if it's not something that you wanted for yourself, especially like what you went through, I do not advise it. And that's why I said we would actually get to the point of talking. For you, in your case right now, you said, oh yeah, it's 2 kids you and your husband wanted to have, so definitely no more baby making, but you will still enjoy your marriage and you will do things that could lead to babies. So what precautions are you taking now? Did you do any kind of family planning? Because this was a topic 3 weeks ago. I brought a professional in women's health in terms of contraception and to prevent things like this. Because even when I went for my I think it was 3 months for baby checkup in the hospital with midwife and the lady is the one is Ghanaian. So when I got there, because normally I'm used to seeing probably an English nurse, but this one was African. So as soon as I saw her face, she was like all these angry moms. I didn't even know she was Ghanaian, but I just asked someone is Nigerian. So when I entered, she was like, so when she spoke, I could hear that she was Ghanaian, and she was like, and if my husband was there, and the next first question she said is, I hope you're not pregnant. Just like that. And I'm just like, okay. And then she goes, yeah, it happens. I say it happened. I have to tell you, I'm African. I'll tell you the way it is. I'm like, oh, okay. I understand. But she's saying this thing not just because maybe she was more, what's the word, forward, or should I say whatever, because she knew that maybe she saw my name and knew that, okay, I'm Nigerian and stuff, so she could relate. But she said that not because she wanted to be funny or whatever, but it's something that she sees, and it does happen where people just come and they don't even know. Like you said, you were already through your first trimester, you didn't even know that you were pregnant, and it does actually happen because you tend to find out that women are actually more fertile just after delivery. So a lot of these things happen. So that's why I was asking that. Now, have you taken any precaution towards? I'm sure you have.
Very much. Oh, at 6 weeks. At 6 weeks, I have an IUD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And you're comfortable. Have you had one before, or no? So this is the first.
Yeah, and it's very comfy.
That's good. That's good.
And I mean, they said it's non-hormonal, so
yeah.
Yeah. And one of the I'm going for anything safe right now. I'm not trying to have another baby or 2.
It's a straight face for me. Like, my love, I really don't blame you. And, and thank God we can sit here now and talk about it and even, laugh about it. But it's not a funny thing. It's not a funny situation. But yeah, I'm happy that you're taking those precautions. And yeah, it's something that I love, because I have some friends who have actually given birth and are not on anything. And sometimes they don't be like, are you not taking anything? And just like, oh no, I know this one. I'm like, things happen. And the way they say these things, and I'm like, okay, to each his own in the long run. I'm not going to force you to do anything. But, it's better to take the precaution than for you to come back later and be dealing with something that you're not ready for. But like I said, everyone's decision for, switches on. But I just want to say, where would you say your mental health is at the moment? How are you feeling? Stephen, I just talk about that. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm actually better than I thought I would be. I mean, when I look at my babies, I'm over the moon. I forget everything that I've been through, and then I'm just happy to have them. She's so pretty. This one that's wanted to go away. She's so pretty. Like every day I look at her, I'm happy. And she's such a happy baby. She's so happy. And it makes me happy. So I can say that I've almost forgotten that I went through anything like this. I was just telling someone today, I'm like, the 9 months, I even forgot that there was a thing like that, because now babies are here and the activities have changed and everything is just fun and it's beautiful. To be honest, I'm fine. I'm mentally all right.
That's as it should be. And I know that, like I said, tell people, when you have your kids, looking at them, even when you're stressed, even if you're tired, even when you're about to scream your lungs or your life out, just looking at your children is enough joy. And that's the beautiful thing about having kids. And I always tell some people, like, oh my God, it's this, and yeah, people have just said it's all worth it in the end. Exactly. And it definitely is. You might have the road to that, to this happiness now might not have been easy, but in the long run, we thank God that you're here and your kids are healthy, you are healthy, and you have all the support from family and friends that you need, which a lot of people underrate. I think a question just came in, so I'm just going to quickly ask you that while we're waiting for more. So someone is asking, said, Moti, about the IUD, was it really painful during the insertion?
At all. It wasn't painful. It was less than 5 minutes. I can't really explain the process to you right now, but it's just, I think there was a snip and my doctor distracted me when she wanted to do it, so I didn't feel any pain.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it was like 5 minutes and it was done, and then you spot for like 3 or 4 days, and then that.
Okay. That's good. I hope that answers your question, young mama. I think I hope I pronounced that. Yeah, young mama 15. So I hope that answers your question. But then, and you said, have you experienced any side effects?
No. And my
So,
husband either, so.
okay, no side effect from both mommy and daddy. So yeah, but guys, in terms of contraceptive, I have a full video on this on my IGTV. I think that was episode 4. So I did have a professional here who did speak about all the types of contraceptives, the non-hormonal, the hormonal things that you can do, just to give you an insight into. But you obviously, when you go to speak to your doctor or you see your gynecologist, they'll give you more information. But you can watch that video just to give you, pointers, so that when you go, if you do have an appointment for getting contraception, you would kind of you won't go in there without any knowledge, basically. So yeah, if you do have any other questions for Moti, please do feel free to send that out. Yes, okay. Yeah, so if you do have any questions for Moti, do feel free to send us those questions now. We have about 17 minutes. So yeah, so if you do have any questions for Moti, this is the time for you to throw it in there. Just ask her now, because once she's gone, Moti is going to be hot kick now, because you will say it again. And just to put that out, I know that you are starting something really soon about in terms around this and more. So but yeah, so you guys should look out for that. I'm sure she would be sharing more in-depth information when she does start that what would I call it now, a series or show. I don't know how you tend to do it, but I'll be looking out for that also. But yeah, I'm really, really happy that you're doing well, and to be able to see this through, because like I said, I keep saying I cannot imagine how you did it. It's a lot. Thinking, just imagining it right now is stressing me out. Just imagining it right now is stressing me out in itself. So I really commend you. You are strong. You are strong.
Thank you.
You are really, really strong. Is there anything you would just want to maybe, while we're waiting for any questions, is there anything you want to say, any advice? Because I'm sure maybe someone that's watching it might probably be going through this right now, or might go through this, because you never know what can happen. So is there anything you would say to is there anything that you would have loved to hear, like somebody say to you when you were in this situation?
Yes. Thing is, when I found out I was pregnant with this second baby, and I was getting sad and all of that, my husband reached out to people. I also did. And the most shocking thing was people told me, oh, don't worry, it's normal. Usually, first and second babies, they're usually that close because the parents don't really know. And like I can count like 20 people that have had that first and second thing that people have told me, and then even very close people to me. And I'm like, if this is it's not normal, but if it's normal, why haven't we heard about it? Like, why isn't anybody saying
Anything about it?
why would you wait until it happens? And then you're like, oh no, it's normal. What did you go through? And then people are like, oh, they went through stuff. If you went through stuff, I feel like you should be willing to share with other
Talk
people.
about it. Yep.
They don't have to go through the same thing. When they told me it was normal, I was shocked. And I'm no, it's not normal. You need to say it. After my first baby, how about you come and tell me, oh, you should do something because first and seconds usually have. So I wish that someone told me that between your first and second baby, there's usually a likelihood that you would just take in, because my period hadn't started when I took in.
Yep.
I didn't see any period or anything, and nobody told me, oh, this. Yes, I had been reading, but I didn't feel like, if my doctor
Yeah.
didn't say anything, no midwife told me anything, no auntie or mommy told me anything, and this happens, and then everybody is shocked. You're pregnant again? Are you crazy? That's very insensitive. What do you like?
You knew about it and you did not say anything about it.
Do you understand? So I feel like there needs to be more awareness about this first and second baby thing, so that people will know and they know what to do about it. Secondly, because at that stage it's very sensitive for the mother or the pregnant woman, people can't say a lot of things, and some people are not as strong as others. So you can't walk up to me and tell me, you're pregnant again, your baby is not even one yet. Excuse me, I'm very rude. If you know me, you know how rude I am. So if you tell me one, I have a comeback for you. So I try not to hurt myself. If you want to hurt me, I hurt you. And pregnancy on its own is sensitive. Like
That's the thing, yeah.
you're very emotional when you're pregnant. Then not to talk of when you're already going through stuff and pregnant. So it's a lot. We need to guard ourselves and, educate each other about this, because a lot of people need to hear this. I feel like we're not doing enough. Our mothers didn't do enough. Need to put the word out there, and I commend you for this channel. I'm happy to be here, and I want everybody to hear it. Every new mom, every aspiring mom, everybody should know what's up. Like, you should know what you're going into. You should know about the journey. You should know everything, because I mean, different people have different experiences, but I'm sure you'll find a similar experience to yours.
Somewhere, definitely.
Yeah, relates to. So it's very important that the word is out there.
That's good. Well said, Muti. I like, the first thing that you said in terms of not the older generation. Let me even start with that. Our mothers, our aunties. You know what I said it's normal. You'll be surprised at the fact that, and it's annoying that I have to say that it's normal, because but for some people it is. And then there's the part where the society has made it, let me say, the society has made it normal. It's not, but then there are people that opt to, let's say, like, maybe out of 100%, probably maybe 30%, not these days, decide to have their children back to back. It happens, but that 70%, some of them, is just the society that is making it normal. And the fact that the older generations or aunties and mom are not saying it, it's not because they don't want to say it, but it's because of that, oh, what will people say kind of thing. So technically, they have accepted that this thing is actually normal when it's actually not. So they don't see any reason why they should talk about it to you. That's it. And it's sad, but it's what it is. It's really, really sad. But yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I'm really happy that you did accept to come on here, because you will be surprised how who would watch this and will take something away from this. Because trust me, there are a lot of people going through this right now. You will be surprised. Because I've had a friend, or even some people message me that, oh, because like I said, like my sister is a gynecologist, so midwife, women's health, so this is her specialty. So anytime my friend messages me that they feel like they're somewhere, I'll be like, oh, let me speak to my sister. So a lot of people message me. I'm like, oh, can you just? So you will be surprised the amount of people that, even some new moms have messaged me that, oh my God, I saw my period this time. I haven't seen it. It's late now. Doesn't mean I'm pregnant. But then it actually does happen that some people actually see their period like maybe 3 months after delivery, and then you don't see it again, especially when you're still breastfeeding. So some of them actually start panicking that you're pregnant. And these things happen. And that is within that window of seeing your period and not seeing it that people actually get pregnant because
Yeah.
they feel like, oh, I saw it. That period is when you're fertile and everything is like kind of normal, and then it goes back to not being. But a lot of people don't know about this, you know? So I'm really, really happy that you decided to come on here to share your experience, and I'm also looking forward to what you want to do in terms of sharing more light on this. We need more people to do this, and that's why I decided to start up doing this, because there are a lot of things I wanted to know while I was pregnant that I did not know. Because if you check online, all you just see is negative things. It's fine. Pregnancy is not
It's
exactly the easiest, you know. There's the up, this is the good, bad, and the ugly. But I
yeah,
think the ugly is much more promoted than even, you know,
exactly.
share the, make it more realistic that okay, these things happen, but you know, yeah. So yeah, I'm really, really happy that you did come on here today. Let me see if we have okay, no other questions have come in, just comments, people just applauding you basically and appreciating you for being on here today. So we'll just say maybe give another 4 minutes. If nothing comes through, I guess we'll end it. Oh, someone says, well done, Moti. Thanks for sharing your experience. So I think the people who have been on this live and people that are going to watch it, because trust me, because a lot of people based on time difference are probably in different parts of the world and can't join,
Yeah.
but a lot of people tend to watch this at their own time much later, and I'm sure this would definitely go a long way in someone's life out there. You would actually be surprised. So I'm really, really thankful for you being here today.
Thank you.
Let me just see, I'll see, just give it another 3 minutes. If we don't get any other questions, I'll just let you go. But how are the kids doing though? Hope they're doing well.
They're fine. I sent them down. They're all downstairs. I was hearing noise, but
Oh,
they
they're
should give
good.
me an hour. It's enough. I'm tired, yo. Long.
Okay. I know. It can't be easy. Trust me. You're two. I hear one plus one ahead of me. Even this 1 hour that I get now, I have to beg my, okay, come and take your zone. Let me just have this time to, you know,
It's like you have to
breathe.
be honest. It's just that one is walking and saying some words. The other is in.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just like having twins.
I know that here is actually called Irish twins. So
Okay.
because that's what it's called. So when your kids are like literally months apart from each other, they call them Irish twins. So you'd be surprised, and it's really it's common. It's common here. Trust me, trust me. So it's like I said, if people that plan for it and feel like they know what you're getting into, oh well and good for them. If they feel their body and everything can take it, to each his own. But
Yeah.
if you know you're not ready and you know that your mental state cannot carry, even getting pregnant for your first child in itself, if your mental state is not where it's supposed to be, I do not advise it, because
Yeah.
no one is ever 100% ready for pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
You might say, oh, you and your husband might say, oh, let's have a child now. But when the baby actually, when you start seeing the bump, you like, come, you begin to ask yourself, am I actually ready for this pregnancy? You know, talk less of when you now do that,
Hi.
have one, and then another one kicks in. I don't know. To be, like, if whoever is doing that, good luck to you guys, but nah, I can't. So right now, you're my hero. So, so yeah, someone said, someone's just saying thank you to both of us. Love the joy on your faces. Oh, thanks, baby. So yeah, I think that's it for today. I think everyone is just liking and loving, and I think if you did miss this, like I said, please catch up. I'll be uploading this immediately we're done on my IGTV, so you can catch up there on everything that we have discussed. This episode has been very emotional, impactful, and everything in one. And I hope this goes out to someone out there that needs to see this. Moti, thank you again. I really, really cannot begin to appreciate you for giving me this time and sharing your experience with us today. Thank you so much. I pray that God continues to give you the strength to be a great mom, to even for you, to give you the strength to continue with your marriage, everything in general, your business just gives you strength. Because trust me, once you become a mom, prayer for strength is very, very, very needed. So I pray that God grants you everything that you need to raise your kids to be shining, bright, beautiful stars. How are you? Question. Just when I was about to let her go, it's fine. How were you able to deal with people's reaction when they found out you were going to have a second baby? She kind of already answered that, but Muti, you can just quickly run through that again in the next 2 minutes before we go.
Okay, some people had positive, some people were positive, they're like they were happy, and other people were like, how comes? And then so if you go how comes, I answer you very rudely. And if you're happy, I'm very happy too. Because I mean, you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know how it's been for me, and you don't know how I'm able to come this far and even come out with my baby bump. So you don't ask me silly questions. If you ask me, I always have a comeback. I always have a comeback. There's the app I use to track my pregnancies. It's called Baby Center. So on there are comebacks for people that talk to you. Sometimes
you check that out.
I've made a comeback, but I also read their own comeback. So if you say rubbish, I give you double. And
that's how it is. I feel like
you
people
have
to be much more sensitive.
Yeah, you have to be strong because a lot of people are not sensitive. A lot of people don't care. Like they just blurt out words and they feel like
especially not offense, but is what is actually let me say, especially Nigerians, the older generation, just open your mouth and
the women.
and that's the annoying part. It's women that do it the most. Oh Lord have mercy. It's ridiculous. It's really, really sad in itself. But you to each like I said, you can't really control what people say. You can only control what you say and how you receive what they said to you. So but yeah, like she said, if it's a positive comment, all well and good. If it's a negative comment, it's left for you to deal with that. Yep. However reception you receive from what you said. Yeah. But yeah, thank you again, Muti. I'm just going to let you go real quick before... Oh, sorry, that's a comment. You guys, I need to let Muti go, but I'm sure that most of these questions are coming in now. Muti has answered most of them. So I'm going to upload this immediately I go off, and then you can go back and catch up on this episode. Thank you again, Muti. I'm just going to let you go now. My love to Hobby and the kids. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, darling. Let me see. Okay, Muti, you have to go. I don't know how to. Okay, she's gone. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And like I said, if you're just joining, the topic of today was unplanned pregnancy after having a baby. Shortly after having a baby, have to be precise. So when and out, you can send me a message, please. I don't know, but if you want to do a catch up on this particular topic, please go on to my I'm so sorry you came late. I'll be uploading this now on my IGTV. It's usually just an hour, guys. So yeah, you'll be able to watch this and catch up on the previous episodes. So if you're just tuning in, please do that. Thank you guys for tuning in and for giving me your time. Do have a blessed weekend and enjoy the rest of your day, stroke evening. Bye, guys.